TAP Akeley, our tourist assessment project. And you can see we have our Paul Bunyan there, which has now been repaired. His hand was in dismal order, and he has now, although it was amazing, you know, I mean, I won't even say what it looked like you were sitting in, but it didn't stop anyone. That statue is visited 100 times a day, probably in the summertime, easy. There you go, yes. And people were still stopping and taking photos and sitting in the hand. And we do have that live streamed also on our chamber website. So you can look at yourself there, yes. And so his hand has been repaired. However, his skin no longer matches. So, so now we are in the process of seeking a bid to have him repainted. The chamber is doing that, yes. Again, I want to welcome you to Akeley. And don't forget to have your picture taken in the hand of our famous Paul Bunyan. Okay. Our goal is to use TAP to create a vision for Akeley. We got the information online somewhere, and we started out thinking, hey, this could be good for us. We've done some other things through the extension. Let's apply. We did, and amazingly enough, we were accepted, and we thank those powers that be for that. We completed the assessments and learned even more about our community and the surrounding area. You can hit the next one. And with the help of Merritt, he put us on the right path. We had community meetings, as most everyone knows. Creative minds work together to put forth our goals. Through education, creativity, work, and providence, we're building a foundation for our future. Collaboration is vital to our successes. We're discovering, sort of the hard way, that people just need to be asked sometimes. Had we known that in advance, our second community meeting, which set the projects for us, may have been attended by more than just the 6 of us. And those were people that were directly asked. The City Council has also gotten on board. I think it only took me 3 visits to the council meetings, and finally, I practically had to beg, but finally, they committed to driving one of our projects. And we've been connecting lots of dots over the last year or so to foster change in Akeley. Action changes things, and it does. But however, it's always at a snail's pace. A small community like ours, it all takes so much time. We're currently working with City Council, as I said, and they're driving the Connecting Trail project. It will connect the current Heartland Trail, which, by the way, was the first rail-to-trail bike trail, to the Paul Bunyan statue. We've contracted with 2 local craftsmen, a master welder and a man that does construction out of logs, to build 2 bicycle racks for us. We've added a link to our website, a link to the geocaching website. We have approximately, I think, 50 geocaching locations within 5 miles of Akeley, so we thought that was a good thing to have. We also have put up, our current bathrooms have been repaired. That wasn't part of our project, but they have been repaired, so they're a little more presentable. So if you took those photos of our bathrooms, you know, you might want to stop. Well, maybe not next summer. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's very difficult with that kind of thing, with vandalism. We always have some vandalism. It just never fails. You know, yeah. Click it. Our future is looking to growth, new partnerships, and the widening of our vision. We want to become a destination for biking, both the paved trails and mountain biking. We want to promote our crossroads of 34 and 64, develop consistent signage, and collaborate with the DNR to design a kiosk describing our logging history. And we'd also like to build better public bathrooms. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, last one. This is our 6-word memoir. Are there any questions? Brian?
I'm going to ask the same question I did before. Through this process, is there a community asset that maybe stuck out that you didn't think of before, and what kind of plan do you have?
We are the
From the camera.
From the camera. You got to be over here. Then you got to hold this.
We are the headwaters of the Crow Wing chain of lakes, and although we've always known that, we never really looked at that as a resource. And so one of the things we're looking at doing is making that accessible in some way to canoers, kayakers, so they can start in Akeley and visit the entire chain. And the DNR may be willing to work with us on that.
Any others?
So, I don't know if this came up, but is there things that came up to your group about how you're a welcoming community? So when people come in, they feel like they can sit at the cafe or, like they can get, is there anything talking around the town or about ideas?
That has been addressed a few times within our community, and I think we need a better structure between all the businesses to really address that. We do a series of workshops periodically through the chamber, and hopefully in our sales workshop down the road that will be addressed, and the right people will be there for that.
How to welcome strangers into your town?
Right.
And I was going to add to that, too, that I don't know about other small communities, but I know that ours has a very negative attitude toward just about anything. I mean, no matter how good the food was today, I'm sure there'd be somebody who didn't like it, I mean, it's always that way, and I don't know if that's true in other communities. So we really are working hard at fostering a better attitude. A better attitude, absolutely.
I will say in our chamber meeting, the predominant themes every month is to keep it positive. So if we have a community event, we really try to put people in place that will keep it positive, and that's what it takes. Carol?
So I was on the team that visited Akeley, and you do have a great ambassador in this town at the antique shops. And that is one of the things that we didn't leave there without brochures in our hands, telling about what was going on. And so, from the outside, you may not know, but.
Thank you. Yes, she is. She's very good.
How do you extract money from tourists?
By picking their pocket.
How do tourists spend money in the community?
That's a very good question. Hopefully they spend it buying handmade beads at my shop.
Right.
I'm not afraid to ask.
And we're very limited in business now. We do have, like I said, the two convenience stores, and obviously they spend money. We also have probably one of the finest city campgrounds in the state of Minnesota. It's right on 11th Crow Wing Lake. I want to say there's 30 RV sites and 20 tent sites. I'm not sure what the stats are on that, but nearly every one has their own dock, or you share a dock between two. I mean, it's right on the shores, and it is lovely. So that's one way that we do get tourists here, and it's pretty full all summer long. And just last year, the city council voted to put it out there online as well, so people can reserve online. So that has made a big difference. Otherwise, the cafe gets some business just because of the traveling through the crossroads, but we don't have a lot of business. So like Sandy said, the small businesses are artisans, try to get it wherever they can. Yep.
And the wood tick's still going, right?
Yes. Thank you. Yes, the wood tick is still going. Wood tick theater is a musical theater, kind of reminiscent of hee-haw days in a way. There's humor, there's gospel singing, it's a lot of fun. It's very good. And we also have a very fine German restaurant just west of town, 2 miles west of town, the Brauhaus. It's open during, I want to say, May through middle of October, and it's an excellent restaurant. So the Wood Tick and the Brauhaus really do a lot of business together, and including the antique shops. There's 2 antique shops in town, and they get business from that as well.
Since we're meeting in church, I thought I'd ask a question. As part of the community assets, did you guys look at your faith community?
Yes, we did. And we do have.
And our nonprofits.
Yep, both. Exactly. Anything? Oh.
How much is it a night to stay overnight in your campground with your RV?
I don't know off the top of my head, sorry.
That's on your site.
Yes, do that, yes. The chambers, I mean, not the chamber site, but the Akeley Min site, it'll be where that'll be, yep. Thank you.
on the chamber site, too.
Merritt, oh, it is, sorry, thank you. Merritt?
I'm just, I thought the first meeting that I had with you folks last year, your insight that you don't have everything right here, like the German restaurant is down there, there's other resources over there, but you're hopefully someday a hub that services, that connects people who visit with maybe a 20-mile radius, did that little map exercise.
Yes.
I thought that was a really good insight on your, you're a small community, but you're connected to a lot of cool resources.
Thank you.
And we do work together with the chambers and our surrounding communities to try and make the most of our assets.
And we also have the old school, we consolidated many years ago with the Walker Hackensack, now Walker Hackensack Akeley schools. And our old school was purchased for $1 by a local gentleman, and now there's a board that runs it, and it's a thrift shop. They've got a huge, probably one of the first huge thrift shops in the area, and it's become a destination point for people that like to thrift shop. Yes, they have clothing store, furniture, that sort of thing. Plus, there's a couple apartments in there, and a big bookstore, and our community library that we started. And so there's several things going there.
Which would be an opportunity for you people to spend your money today.
Yes.
Right down the street.
Right. Yep.
You want us to steal library books?
No, but it is open. You can check one out. Anything else?
Rates are $30 a night.
Thank you. $30 a night. Anything else? Yes.
Well, I was just gonna, it was kind of related to this other comment, but, like, how big a radius do you consider to be sort of Akeley? Because you have, like, the stomping grounds, which is 5 miles north, you have the Shingleby Recreation Area, between here and Walker, which I used to go to as a kid down that big hill, which it's not all open like it used to be, and then like the Door Tower,
When we did our
things out.
when we did our assets, we did do like a 20-mile radius, and like someone said earlier, that driving isn't as big a deal as it used to be, but we are limited in terms of right here in Akeley proper. Yeah. Thank you.